Okay, so unlike the last volume where it felt that Joe in Great Britain took up the majority of the screen time, I felt that this volume gave nearly everybody screen time. Some, yeah, a little bit more than others, but felt like everyone had their role to play. As well as this time, it really did feel like it was all 9 of the cyborgs facing off against the Myutos Cyborgs. You know, it was the ideals of literally 3 different scientists that all worked for Black Ghost. Some defected, some hadn't, and all their ideals coming together and just, well, not even coming together. That's wrong terminology there, Justin. All of it just, bam, just clashing. You know, and just the way that Shotaro Ishinomori draws the panels, it feels like the events happening are in a erratic display of chaos. That is tough to put into words if you're not reading it yourself. And with that being said, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. That way the YouTube algorithm will know that my content is worth watching. As well as, if you haven't already, write a comment down. That helps the algorithm as well. And be sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure that bell is ring-a-ding-dinging. That way you'll know when I put out more videos. And if you thought all that was a precursor to the end of this video, you are dead wrong. We're not even at the end yet. That's just how wild my brain works. Okay, so this volume was damn good in the aspects of character development and storytelling. Now, I kind of wonder if Shotaro Ishinomori is responsible for creating the archetype of having characters face off against their darker halves. To where, like, sometimes when you read a manga, you could almost tell, like, who would be facing who in what battles and such, depending on certain, like, factors. For example, if one of the good guys has glasses on and the bad guy has glasses, guaranteed that those two are going to end up clashing at some point. Or let's say, like, if one character has a very unique aesthetic that pertains to a very specific region of the world, and another character also has that very same kind of style, but you can tell it's like slightly different, as if they're both from the same country, but from different cultures of that same country. You know, stuff like that. It's quite noticeable to me, and I felt it was really noticeable with this volume of Cyborg 009. First, we have, I think his name is Jernome, Cyborg 005. You know, the physically strongest out of all of them, facing off against Atlas. Okay, there's that. Then there's this S for Myutos Cyborg facing off against 001. I'm sorry. These clashes just straight up make sense to me. They're basically 1-for-1. And holy shit, speaking of, the violence level in this arc had gone up exponentially. You know, it already did go up with the last volume. seeing as how, you know, we saw Joe get blasted right in the fucking chest. In this, we get to see Cyborg 005. I still think his name's Renome. I might be fucking wrong about that. But we literally get to see him almost broken to pieces. Like, yo, the fuck? Then we during the chaotic fucking battle that happens at around the end there, we're seeing 002 getting demolished, 004 getting demolished. Hell, 004 almost ended his own life because, okay, so we learned that he has actually an atomic, like, bomb inside of him, and if he wants to, he could fucking detonate that shit. Yeah, that makes 004 actually more potential. He's actually the most dangerous out of all the fucking cyborgs. You know, like, when it came to the cyborgs, you know, powers and such, I still think 001 is up there above all the rest of them. And that includes Joe. Okay, that includes Joe as well. Because there ain't no there ain't no fucking way that Joe, with all of his speed, can beat telekinesis. No fucking way that's happening. I'm sorry. No fucking way at all. And also, this volume, not this volume, but this story has so many surprises in it. You know, I like the fact that one of the scientists that are that's on the enemy side is actually even not an enemy per se. And I believe it's like a couple of his actual cyborgs that are aligning with the 00 series. I believe Dr. Uranus was in charge of, like, creating most of the mythological cyborgs, while the other doctor, whose name I don't quite remember, to be honest, was in charge of doing most of the the animal implants or whatever, like the controlled animals, basically. Like, the reason why, like, Black Ghost has fucking dolphins and seagulls at their disposal to do reconnaissance missions and take a, you know, look-see at where the 00 cyborgs are or where they could be and such. You know, like, I was surprised the fact that Helena, I keep on calling her Helena, but I'm pretty sure it's not right. Or is it Helena or Helena? Damn it. Okay, so the fact that she lies to Atlas, telling him that they had implanted a bomb inside of her, and that if they wanted to, they could just flip of a switch, blow her up. Like, yo, how much in debt do you gotta be in order to put yourself into a harm that is not physically fucking there? Because she knew full well that it wasn't there. She just wanted to get Atlas off of their ass, and that was it. She wanted to do that. I believe she wanted to do that because of the fact that Joe ended up saving her life. And most of this character development really does stem from the Cyborg 00 team working off of each other's strengths, as well as really never questioning whomever takes lead. Now, a lot of teams, you know, in different manga series or anime series, there's always a question of authority, of who needs to be the leader. And usually if one of the characters has an idea and just announces it, the rest of them, for the most part, will be like, oh, okay, sounds solid. Sometimes they'll put their own input in, but it's never a outright judgment of authority. Now, I think they might have had this going on when they first started, because, you know, of course, it's like no one wants to trust anybody else, but they were all basically forced to work together. But now that they have worked together for so long, that if one of them makes a suggestion, and it's like, hey, we should implement this into our battle strategy, the rest of them are now more likely to be like, yeah, let's do that. That sounds plausible, unless somebody else can come up with a better solution. I, however, do not like the way that Shotaro Ishinomori ended this arc. Because the way he ended it just feels incredibly abrupt. And it was like this giant battle was fucking happening. All of a sudden, the volcano erupts, and there's all these waves and explosions and such, and it's just like the Cyborg team disappeared. Wasn't even mentioned of the Myutos Cyborgs either. It was just like everybody just vanished. And personally, I didn't fucking like that at all. And it's strange because that's not even the end of the volume. The volume continues on with 2 stories. One of the stories gives, I believe his name is Hunam, who is Cyborg 008. He's one that comes from Africa, and it pretty much talks about, like, him going back to Africa with Joe and Francois. All 3 of them going back there. The story of the Golden Lion, and how the Golden Lion had been attacking 008's freedom fighters. These freedom fighters that had been fighting against the colonization of European countries. And a long story short, it just turns out that this Golden Lion was just an extraterrestrial being that relied on this, like, weird tree with golden tendrils. The best thing about that story, however, is that, one, it feels like that story takes place in the future. That's what I'm guessing, okay? I don't know for sure. Because there's a couple of implications. First implication is the fact that now none of them are wearing their battle armor attire that we have always seen them in. They're just wearing regular old attire. Yet they still refer to each other by their factory numbered names. 008, 009, 003. That's all being referred to like that. But there's really no mention of Black Ghost at all. There's just a mention of the fact that 008, Puna, I think that's his name. I don't keep on saying that. I feel like I'm fucking that up. And the fact that he has been leading this resistance, and for the first time ever, we get to see, well, not really see, because they die upon introduction, in a sense, his parents and his little sister, who had all been killed by the Golden Lion. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm getting too much into detail what had happened, and not into what I was saying prior to this whole event taking place in the future. Because at the very end there, after Joe had helped out 008, but here's another thing too, okay? Joe is acting more like a scientist than he does in the primary story. Which is also weird, because Joe has never... I'm not saying Joe's dumb, mind you, okay? But he has never outright stated any kind of, like, theories or any hypothesis or anything of the nature. Yet here he is, coming up with a hypothesis, a theory, and then doing an experimentation to see if his theory slash hypothesis actually correlates with each other and makes sense. And I do think that Joe and Francois have gotten married and are now taking their honeymoon to France, which is, to Paris, which is where Francois is from, if I remember correctly. The next story deals with this dog that Joe took care of. I believe this particular story actually takes place during the years Joe was an orphan. And this story absolutely broke my fucking heart. It is incredibly sad. And I honestly, I do not want to talk about it. Sorry, I really don't. If you want to read it, because I don't want to talk about it. Can you give me 1 second to look it up? Chapter 35. Okay, there you go. That's all I'm gonna fucking say. Chapter 35, and you don't have to even read the rest of the fucking story. Okay, this is just a side story. It's a one-off, basically. You can read this on its own, and yeah. Welcome to Hurt. That's all I'm gonna fucking say in that. Welcome to Hurt. Because like the Nine Inch Nails / Johnny Cash song, I hurt myself today to see if I can still feel. Focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. Yeah. So, what do you guys think of Cyborg 009, Volume 7? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you'd be so kind as to give this video a thumbs up, as well as leave a comment. Both of these things help the YouTube algorithm to go, this seems interesting. Let's bring it up more. And put on more people's For You pages. As well as, if you haven't already, and if you've been just lurking around watching my content and you still haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You'll be highly disappointed, sure, but you'll never be bored. Or maybe you will be bored. Okay, with that being said, thank you all for watching. Bye.